Howdy everyone, it's me, Grace. Before we get started today, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be doing a Patreon exclusive pumpkin carving stream. You only have to be in the $1 tier to view it, and it'll be on October 24th, which is a Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I do hope to see you over there, and without further ado, let's get to crafting. Today, I'm creating my Vampire Hunter's outfit. For those of you who are hoping the Vampire Hunter character would also be a vampire, you are right, she's a vampire. So a little sneak peek of this character's backstory. She's a priestess from the Chantry of Crimson. Vampires who belong to the Chantry worship and protect humans because humans provide vampires vitality by offering their blood. Vampires from the Chantry believe all entities who take human blood by force are evil and need to be eliminated, especially vampires that kill humans, thus, my vampire hunter. First, I made a sketch of what I wanted my vampire hunter's outfit to look like. I really wanted her to look like a priestess and religious figure, just to help work it in with her backstory. I also thought a monochromatic headdress and matching gown would work nicely for her too. Now it's time to make a pattern for the bodice part of the dress. I'm using plastic wrap and wrapping it around myself, making sure to get one side of my upper back area and underarm area as well. Then I can cover the plastic wrap with pieces of duct tape so the pattern will hold its shape. This part always tests my flexibility, so feel free to ask for help if you need it. I've found that I only need to pattern one side of myself completely. That's because I just trace one side, flip the pattern over, and trace it again to make the two symmetrical sides of the bodice. What's cool about these duct tape patterns is that you can draw where you want your seams to be, and for me, I wanted the seams to be right down the middle and under the bust area. Now that my bodice pattern is done, I'm transferring all the pattern pieces twice, once for each side of the bodice, onto 2 layers of this light cotton. I wanted the bodice to be 2 layers thick so it wouldn't be so sheer. After I clipped the seams together, I sewed all the edges. I also installed a zipper. Before continuing, I decided to take a bubble bath break. Neeners always gets concerned when I'm in the bath. I'm not sure if she understands why anyone would willingly sit in a tub of water, but she's good company anyhow. Here's what the bodice looks like so far. I still need to iron it and make some adjustments, but we're getting there. To create the skirt part of the gown, I draped some of the same cotton fabric around my waist and made sure I had lots of extra room to create a ruffled, gathered waist. Then I used embroidery thread and needle to gather the skirt fabric so it could be attached to the bodice. After pinning the skirt to the bottom of the bodice, I sewed the 2 pieces together. And here's what the dress looks like after the skirt is attached. I'm cutting a slit up the skirt to make it extra flowy. I'll be adding lots of lace to this a bit later too. Now I have to make the sleeves. I always struggle with sleeves, so this process was a trial and error process for me, as it always is. I knew I wanted ruffled shoulders with bell sleeves, so I gave myself plenty of fabric to work with here. I ruffled the shoulders just like I did with the skirt using embroidery thread, and then I sewed it onto the dress. I took in the sleeves a little bit until they fit how I wanted them to. After messing with the sleeves, I also whipped up the collar pattern and attached some cotton lace trim to it. I was happy that the sleeves fit, but I wanted more lace on the shoulders for a more dramatic effect. Luckily, I had a few more yards of this stretchy cotton lace trim. I ended up adding 3 layers of it above the shoulders. I also added the same trim to the ends of the sleeves. Here's what the bodice and sleeves look like with all the trim attached. I like it much more than I did before. Then I attached some more cotton lace to the bottom and the slit of the skirt. And now that all the lace is attached, the gown construction is complete. Now to make the headdress. I cut out a long rectangle shape. This will be the part that will go around my forehead. I sewed both sides together, flipped it inside out, and sewed the ends together so I had a headband I could wear comfortably. I attached elastic on the inside of the headband so it would conform to my head a bit better too. And then I made the ruffles. For the ruffles around the bottom of the headdress, I made my own trim by gathering a long piece of gauzy cotton with embroidery thread. I wanted the main part of the headdress to be a long veil that attaches to the back of the headband. I rounded the edge of the veil so the shortest part will sit near my shoulders. This is what the veil looks like with the ruffle trim attached. And here's what it looks like attached to the headband. Please ignore my bad hair day, and let's just focus on how well this headpiece fits, shall we? After the construction of everything was done, it took me 2 tries to dye this the right color. The first time, I used this Dye-Lon Tulip red dye, which turned out to be a bit too pink. I tried again with this scarlet red dye from Rit, and it turned out so much better. I love how vibrant this turned out. Even the trim dyed nicely, which I'm so pleased with. I paired my gown with this brown clinch belt that I think will go nicely with the other vampire hunting accessories I've made for this character. I have a few more finishing touches I'll be working on for her, but the next video will be her big reveal. So I hope you stay tuned and subscribe so I can see you again. This week's Makers of the Week include Old Crafty on Instagram, who repainted this dragon statue. I love the colors you chose. Next, Phil showed me their proton pack. There are so many cool details here. At Heavy Mondo on Instagram showed me his heavy infantry Mando armor, and it is just incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time to show me what you're creating. It really warms my heart. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye y'all.